call this meeting to order. If you would please stand for prayer and pledge. Today's prayer will be provided by Reverend Barbara Lee.
Good morning. Thank you
Good
to the
morning.
board
Good
for the invitation. Let us pray. God, our Father, who's great in our sight, God, we thank you this morning to be able to come before you and just to call upon your name. In the name of Jesus, we stand in this commission chamber this morning, just thanking you, God. Thanking you so greatly for a new year. Thanking you, God, for this assembly, where in this room, many decisions and procedures and processes and rules and governing your people, our county, our communities, the families, our families. We thank you, God, that those decisions are being made in this room. And God, today as we stand before you, we pray right now that you would govern every decision that is being made in this room, that you would grant every commissioner and our public wisdom and knowledge, and you will grant them, oh God, information and understanding, everything that they need, that the decisions made in this place will be made with wisdom, with compassion, with grace, with integrity, God, because it's an honor and a privilege to be able to sit in a position to govern the people of God. So we want to tell you thank you this morning. We pray over our commission. We pray over the public. Oh God, that you will lead and guide, that you will direct our paths, that you will order our steps. Your word declares, if any man lacks wisdom, let him ask. And so God, with that truth, we're asking that you grant each and every one wisdom in this room to be able to carry out the business of the day, whatever needs to go forth, that they will do it, oh God, in a wise and in a way of integrity. So we thank you. We ask that you bless every commissioner as well as the public here. Bless the families, oh God. Bless every decision that they'll walk according to the direction of the Spirit. We give you glory and honor and praise. God, we're thanking you right now for this opportunity. We can't afford to take it for granted because it's such an incredible opportunity and a privilege and such an honor to be able to make these decisions. So God, we put it in your hands. We say, order their steps, direct their paths. We pray a blessing over everyone in this room. We ask that everything is done decent and in order, that you would speak peace and let it rule in the hearts of everyone here. God, for where there is division, the Bible tells us that the house will fall. A house divided will collapse. And so, God, we are looking for unity and peace, for there is power in unity. So bring us all together on one accord. Let peace reign in this place. Have your way. Lead and guide. We bless every commissioner that sits in these seats, and we bless every visitor, the public here, that everything done here will honor you in the way that you need it to be done. In Jesus' name, we give you glory. We thank you. We praise you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Say the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. Mr. Commissioner Brock is on the phone. Can you hear us okay, Mr. Brock?
Yes, I can.
Okay. If we get a little too fast or something, just speak up real loud and we'll make sure you're up to speed with us, okay?
Okay.
The first order of business is to adopt the agenda, and I have some late adds to add if it's the pleasure of the board. And 6.4 is the consent to provide a portion of a leased premise for the sheriff's office use. Six point five is Resilient Florida Program Planning Grants for Vulnerability Assessment. Six point six is Resilient Florida Program Planning Grants for King Cutter Road. 6.7 is Safer Routes to Schools grant. And 6.8 is Industrial Park property discussion. There any other additions or deletions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move to our public hearing portion of our meeting today, and we will open our public hearing, item 3.1, vertical bridge, Haddock Tower special exception. Ms. Dawn.
Good morning, Commissioners
Good
Morning.
and guests and staff.
Is this, Mr. Attorney, is this where you want to
Yes, if
do
you're
our oaths?
going to speak on item number 3.1 and 3.2, it's been requested that we be formal and that you be sworn in. So if you want to speak on item 3.1 or 3.2, please approach the podium and I will swear you in. Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Will you two who have said you're going to speak, give your name to the court reporter, please?
Don McDonald, Senior Planner.
Mataniah John, representative for the applicant, 935 Main Street, Suite C4, Safety Harbor, Florida, 34695.
Okay.
Okay, all right, Ms. Dawn?
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Okay, we have two cases for you today for public hearing, and they're both cellular communications towers. Okay, the first case is Vertical Bridge Haddock Tower, and this is a request for a special exception to allow the use of a cellular communications tower within the agriculture, silviculture land use. And also this is paired, which we typically do, with a major development review application for the development, and we review the development plans at the same time. And in this case, there are variance requests associated with the development order. And this tower is located in the center of the county. And Attorney John is representing the applicant, Vertical Bridge, and the property owner, the Haddocks. And this is located on 2905 Pioneer Road. And the property is approximately 12 acres in size. And where the caption is, the subject property, the tower, that's where the tower is proposed, in that location. And the land use is, here it is, it's agriculture, silviculture, and it's next door to residential medium 1 property, and the yellow is residential low. And this is a site plan, basically showing you the layout where the tower is located, and you can see the 30-foot easement that allow access. And these are typically, I think this one is 100 by 100 is a lease site. And then within there is a 50 by 50 fence site. And within there, there's where the equipment cabinets are, the generators. And this tower is approximately 199 feet high. And this site is proposed for Verizon. There are also 2 sites reserved for future carriers for the site. So we're encouraging co-location on our sites. And so the next applicants will go to the building department for their plans. There's also a 10 by 10 reserved area for the county, which we request that we reserve space for public emergency communications within the cell tower sites. But in this case, the vertical bridge is allowing us a 10 by 10 actually reserved space of our own. And of course, we would share the antenna space if we needed to have communications. There's a profile of the monopole tower. And we met our public noticing requirements. No neighbors attended the neighborhood information meeting on December 18th. Staff recommends approval. The Planning Commission recommended approval 6-0. Today you'd be making a final decision regarding the special exception, the development review, and the variances associated with the development review. And if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. The authorized representative, Attorney John, is here for any specifics or any technical questions if you have them.
Are there any questions from the board for Ms. McDonald?
None.
Good. Attorney John, is there anything you would like to add?
Good morning, Matt and John. I know that you have a busy day ahead of you, and I don't have much to add to what Ms. McDonald said, other than to just reiterate that Verizon's trying to solve a gap in coverage along Pioneer Road, east of Vernon. With that, I'm available for any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Are there any questions for Attorney John?
None.
All right, thank you.
Are there any questions or concerns from the public? Seeing none, we'll close this portion of the public hearing. And at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. And a second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, 3.2 Vertical Bridge Cook Tower. Ms. McDonald?
Okay, this is a similar case to the one just previously presented. This is the Vertical Bridge Cook Tower, and again, the request is for a special exception for the use of a transmission tower within the agriculture, silviculture, future land use map category, paired with the development review application with variances. As you can see, it's in the center, closer to the western portion. Attorney John is representing the client, the Vertical Bridge, property owner are the Cooks. This tower would be located on Paris Still Road on approximately 18.65 acres. And the caption, again, is that is where the tower is proposed on the property. And here's a land use map. This is an area surrounded by agriculture, silviculture. You can see Wilderness Road is to the northeast. And we provided you plans to review and site plans. And this tower is 260 feet high. And it is not a monopole as the previous case. This is a lattice style. But it's a similar layout. There's the profile. And as you can see, some of the height is for lightning rods. So the tower isn't exactly that, but that's the total height is what you're deciding on today. But similar, there is a 100 by 100 leased area on the property, a 75 by 75 foot fenced area in this case. And within that, there is the carrier area for Verizon and 2 reserved areas for future carriers. And also another 10 by 10 reserved space for county public communications if we do indeed feel the need for that in the future. And again, but sharing the antenna space on the tower with the other antennas. We met our public noticing requirements, and no neighbors attended the neighborhood information meeting on December 18th. County staff recommended approval. Planning Commission recommended approval 6-0. And today you'd be making a final decision regarding the case. And I can't remember if it was this case or another, but we did receive a phone call in support due to the lack of service in the area. And I'm sorry I failed to mention that at the Planning Commission meeting, but we really hadn't heard anything from anyone. So, but if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Okay, any questions from the board?
None.
Attorney John, is there anything you'd like to add?
Matt tonight, John again. This tower is for Verizon to solve coverage, a gap in coverage to the west of Vernon. The only reason this tower is a different design is due to the height, and the only reason it is the height that it is because Verizon needs that in order to have their coverage area. Basically, if you make it shorter, it covers less area. That's all I have. I'm available for any questions. I reserve time to recap in case any members of the public were to speak. Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
questions from the board?
None.
Good. Mr. Brock, you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Any questions or concerns from the public? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
Have a motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Now we will open our next public hearing. Agenda item 3.3, Land Development Code Update. Ms. McDonald.
So this is what's becoming an annual update and just an overview. So the changes that you've been reviewing today are reflective of issues we've had, comments from customers, suggestions, issues that the Planning Commission has addressed, and things that you all have discussed in meetings. And so we've gone back and looked at, and there's also corrections. So that's going to, I think, be a common thing. So there really are minor changes, but some of the changes were based on legislative changes recently with subdivisions, with the state preempting, and in their preempting us, and so we have new processes, new time frames, and also you all discussed ex parte communications, and that affects our Planning Commission and how we operate. And the legislative session in 2025 was very heavy on agricultural activities and uses and encouraging those. And there also were some other preemptions. And so, so regarding EV charging stations, those and also housing for agricultural workers. So those things we won't be reviewing. The state the property owners will use the state guidelines and work with the state regarding those approvals. We've had lots of discussions about laydown yards this year. We clarified towers as far as where they would be allowed and special exceptions where they would be proposed. And a lot of it had to do with process and how the legislature is requiring local governments and planning staffs to review items. Another one of the discussions that we had recently was regarding outdoor storage in neighborhood commercial. Now, that language was included in our comprehensive plan, but was removed when we transmitted the amendments to the state. And so we'll be adopting the comprehensive plan in March, more than likely. But in the Land Development Code, that language never appeared. However, we did clarify the outdoor storage language in general commercial, in the general commercial land use.
And Ms. Dawn, let me say this. Whenever the packet printed, there was a formatting error between the two pages. So the packet that I gave you that has the red at the very bottom, that is actually how the language reads. Some weird formatting error when it printed made it look a little funny, but that's the actual language there for the outdoor storage.
Right, our code required us to update our definitions of outdoor storage and lay-down yards to make it clear what those were. The language that was previously included in the code was vague. But since you received this information, we had a request from a citizen that we change the code to allow private airports and airstrips in the agriculture, silviculture, future land use map category. So that's something we could include if you feel that we need to make that change. That's not in the copy that you have in front of you, but that's just based on some phone calls and emails recently since you received this draft.
So currently now, would an airstrip require a special exception?
Yes, well, no, it's allowed in the, yes, it would, in the public, semi-public future land use category. So we could just carry that over and require a special exception in the agriculture, silviculture land use, which I think is appropriate.
Yeah, my thought is let's not delay this any further and handle the airports that way, private airstrips.
Now, I'm sure that those applicants that you'll hear regarding a special exception will still have to go through the FAA and have state and federal oversight.
And maybe we can change that next time. I just don't want to delay it any further. We already missed one time due to an error.
I had one question on the outdoor storage. We had a case a couple of months ago that specifically dealt with that. Excuse me. Would this fix that for that particular applicant for the outdoor storage that we're talking about? I think it was a case over here on South Boulevard.
Yes,
So that-
and the comprehensive plan, how you approve the transmittal and what the state reviewers are reviewing now, that language for outdoor storage is removed from neighborhood commercial. So I think, yes.
Okay.
So any other questions? I was trying to hit the highlights. There are more corrections than new items.
Ms. McDonald, on the airports, is it your recommendation to fix that now or in the future?
Well, Attorney Fuqua said that, I mean, we might have to address that in the next update because it wasn't advertised.
We'd have to
Okay.
put,
And if we update that, that would turn it into an allowable use that would not require a variance, correct?
I would recommend a special exception because it would be a new use in an airport. There's things related to an airport. You would want, basically they'd be asking for special permission, but it's a new use more than likely on the properties where you'll be hearing them. And so I think it would be a good idea for the special exception because that way you could see plans, not necessarily any final plans, but maybe where the airstrip is proposed. We'll have questions from you all and the public about that. How will people access the airport? Maybe hours of operation, things like that.
That, to me, if you're talking about hours of operation and public access, that's not a private airstrip, correct? Possibly, okay.
Possibly. But the special exception though gets at noise and access and trips and things like that. And so similar to the cellular towers you just reviewed, air quality is mentioned, which they must meet state air quality requirements. So things like that would be reviewed. And you all would issue a permit. But regarding any future changes, I was hoping we could wait till the end of the year, but we do have the legislative session, and there are some major changes coming up, so that we are going to have to include into our land development code. So it may be sooner than later that we have to update our code.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Ms.
Oh,
McDonald?
no, thank you. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? Mr. Brock?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Any questions or concerns from the public? Seeing none, we'll close this portion of the public hearing and we'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve the land development code update.
All right, have a motion.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. McDonald. And at this time, we will continue with our agenda items. And the next agenda, item 4, is to adopt the previous minutes. 4.1 is special meeting November 6, 2025. 4.2, regular board meeting for November 13th, 2025. 4.3, emergency meeting for November 25th, 2025. And 4.4, regular board meeting for December 18th, 2025. Are there any questions, concerns, or comments? Okay.
Motion to approve?
Is it the pleasure to, for the motion to approve all at one time?
Oh,
Yes.
Okay. Have a motion to approve 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and 4.4.
Second.
So I have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. This time, we'll move to our non-agended audience portion of the agenda. And the first name on the list is Mr. Attard.
Morning. Good morning. Excuse me. Ken Attard, I'm a resident of Sunny Hills. On Monday, January 12th, I submitted a formal corrective action demand regarding the Sunny Hills Oak Hill Municipal Services Benefit Unit. A certified copy was sent to Chairman Pettis, and electronic copies were provided to each of the commissioners. That document is not an opinion. It is based exclusively on the county-adopted ordinances, which I have won over extensively. I doubt very seriously any of you have. I don't say that to incriminate you, but I'm here speaking about ordinances that you are to follow. The demand, well, that document is not an opinion. It is based exclusively on the county-adopted ordinances, resolutions, and official MSBU budget records, many of which were presented at a recent MSBU meeting. The demand identifies specific conflicts with governing law, including the use of MSBU funds in ways that supplant county responsibilities rather than supplement them. The concentration of MSBU spending on road resurfacing without documented ad valorem participation, in the absence of a safety-based road prioritization standard, which there's none, obviously. It also documents the use of the MSBU funds in connection with private or developer-controlled property, including the Sunny Hills front entrance, where MSBU monies have been used for refurbishment, utilities, lighting, and maintenance on the property leased from the developer, Deltona, while that same developer and others continue to build and sell homes benefiting from the enhanced entrance, thanks to you and the taxpayers. The ordinance governing the MSBU are clear. MSBU funds may not be used to benefit private or restricted access entities unless the private or the property is permanently dedicated to the public and free of private control. They also do not authorize the loaning or transfer of MSBU funds in any circumstance. I'm not here today to debate facts or argue interpretations. The ordinance speak for themselves, and the document I submitted cites them directly. I'm here to formally place this matter of public record and to request that the
Thank you,
board
Mr.
acknowledge
Attard.
receipt
Thank you, Mr. Attard.
and the corrective action demand and refer
Sir.
it for formal review and appropriate county authorities.
Have a seat, please.
Thank you, Mr. Pettis.
Thank you. Mr. Cunningham?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just
Morning.
wanted to say I hope y'all had a wonderful holiday and all that. Just give y'all a rundown on what Country Oaks has done in the past year. We've gotten several grants, $2,545 wildland gear grant. We've also gotten a firehouse subs grant for hose and nozzle, $17,466.05. We've also gotten two state grants totaling $73,832.83 for PPE and SCBA units. Those PPE and SCBA units will cover 5 of our personnel, upgrading our gear from 2000 model gear all the way up to 2025 gear, which is the latest gear you can have. Rundown on our apparatus. Engine 71 is still at 10.8, still waiting information from the county of what we're going to do with it. Brush 70 is supposed to get tires next week. The tank has been repaired under warranty. All the engine issues have been resolved. Tanker 71 will be replaced. It's a 1,500-gallon tanker due to issues with tires and rims on the truck. The truck will be sold and we will be purchasing a new one. Now, this is not owned by the county. This is owned by the 501c3. I just wanted y'all to be aware of what's going on. Volunteer Firefighter Weekend will be coming up and we'll be sending at least 5 personnel to that. Any questions?
When is the volunteer weekend?
I want to say it's in March. Don't hold me to it. I can get y'all the dates, though. Okay? Thank y'all.
Thank
Thank you very
you.
much. Matt and I, John, which was the representative for the towers, and they have stepped out. Okay? We continue with our regular agenda items at this time. The interlocal agreement for medical examiner services renewal, 6.1. This is our annual renewal for medical examiner services through Bay County. And are there any questions or concerns with moving forward with this interlocal agreement?
Good with it.
Have any questions, Mr. Brock?
No, sir.
All right. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
Have a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move to agenda item 6.2, the proclamation for Black History Parade and Celebration. We started this last year, and we hope to continue to do this on a yearly basis, but I will read this proclamation. It's the proclamation, Black History Parade and Celebration, representing the past to create our future. Whereas Black History Month is a time to honor and celebrate the rich history, culture, and contributions of Black Americans to our nation, state, and community, and whereas Washington County, Florida, recognizes the invaluable impact that Black Americans have made in the areas of civil rights, education, business, science, the arts, public service, and countless other fields. And whereas the annual Black History Celebration at Kemble Park on the second Saturday of February serves as a time for residents and visitors to come together in unity, reflection, and appreciation of the legacy and achievements of Black Americans, and whereas this celebration provides an opportunity to educate, inspire, and strengthen our community by not acknowledging the past, embracing the present, and building a future of inclusivity, respect, and opportunity for all. Now therefore be it resolved that I, David Pettis, Chairman of the Washington County Board of County Commissioners, Washington County, Florida, do hereby proclaim the second Saturday of February as Black History Parade and Celebration in Washington County, Florida, and encourage all residents, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, churches, and schools in Washington County to participate in this important observance of Campbell Park, honoring and enduring contributions of Black Americans to our shared history and future. Is there a representative here that Miss Pamela Andrews is not going to be here?
She's not here. She had to work, but I'm down on her.
Well, thank you very much for being here today. We passed this. Would you be willing to take a photo with us?
For that.
Okay. All right.
For the organization.
Very good. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you, commissioners. I appreciate what you all are doing. I just want to tell you a little bit about that day. We will start with a breakfast at 7:30. We have a speaker coming from the President Eisenhower Museum. She's the educational director. She was not born in in Washington County. She was born in Bay County, but she basically grew up in Washington County. So we have asked her to come back. Parade started at 10, and we're praying that each of you who will come. And then the activities will start right after the parade. And we will have a lot of activities. We will have young people doing essays on legacy. This is our topic for this year, is legacy. So we're hoping that our young people will come out and do essays, as we did last year. And if anybody wants to be a person to judge the essays, we'll be glad for you to come. All right? And there are other activities, and we're hoping that this year, last year we've talked about it all year, but we are hoping that we can give a scholarship to some child coming out of, at least, we chose Vernon High School this year because we don't know how much money we'll be able to get, that if they're either going to vocational school or to college, that may, in some small way, we can help. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Thank you.
You will just hold tight when we take a vote, and then we'll get a picture if that's okay.
Thank you.
If you
I
want
will
to
be
do
here.
that, and you can share that with Miss Pamela since she's not here.
Yes.
She don't get to be in the
She's
picture
working.
today. So,
I'll be here.
very good.
Thank you.
So, are there any questions?
None.
All right, seeing none, I entertain a motion to
So
approve.
moved to approve.
Have a motion to approve
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, if we will, guys, if you don't mind. Mr. Joey will maybe Photoshop you in the picture.
You just AI, and you can get it.
Photoshop.
Oh, yeah, it's not Photoshop.
You put teeth in people's head, they are.
A little bit shorter, yeah. There you go, that's me.
65.
I'm not quite six.
Hold on. David, can I add one thing to that real quick? Last year, we talked about when they had the celebration, after the parade was over, we went back to the park and celebrated, and the facility was rented that day. So everybody who was trying to get to the facility was driving through the celebration, and it was kind of dangerous. Is there any way that maybe we could talk about not renting the facility out that day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, don't need to be.
Yep.
Mr. Chairman, before we get started, can we take like a 5-minute break?
Sure.
Take care of something real quick.
Okay. All right, we'll take a 5-minute recess.
Okay. Thank you.
We're gonna call our meeting to order, back to order, and continue with our agenda items. Agenda item 6.3 is the RFQ 2025-01, Engineering, Design, and CEI Continuing Services Contracts. Hold on, guys, let me, sorry. Mr. Brock,
Yes, I'm here.
you back with us? Okay, we're back from recess, and we're on agenda item 6.3, which is RFQ 2025-01 for the Engineering, Design, and CEI Continuing Services Contract. Is there something you'd like to say about that?
Yes, if, I'm asking the board if you would, look at tabling this issue till the next meeting. Some of my paperwork wasn't in with the engineering firms, so I hadn't graded them yet.
Okay, so Mr. Brock's request is to table this to our next meeting. Discussion or questions for him, or
For a second.
or
I
well-
assume that was a motion.
I mean,
Mr.
I'd rather
Brock,
be here.
Mr. Brock,
Yeah.
was that a motion on your behalf?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we have a motion to table the RFQs till our next meeting. So the motion is on the table. Is there a second?
Yeah.
Okay, we
I mean, I'd
have,
rather him be here and have his score sheets ready, so give everybody an equal opportunity to evaluate and make a decision.
and that's fair. You guys have extended that courtesy to me before, so. So we have the motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 6.4, consent to provide portion of leased premise for sheriff's office use. We have that letter from the school board, which the sheriff approached last month in reference using the firing range. And since the school board was the actual leasee of the property, we wanted to have confirmation from them, and they have provided that letter and clarification that there are no objections. So we just need approval to accept this letter and consent for the sheriff to use that property. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
All right.
Second. Or
You good, Ms. Risha?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 6.5, Resilient Florida Program Planning Grants for Vulnerability Assessment Update and Adaption Plan. Hannah Hart and Jonathan Sims.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the
Good morning.
board.
Good morning.
Thank you for allowing us to speak. I am Hannah Hart. I am the lead for our Resilience Florida program at Dewberry Engineers, and I oversee projects in our market segment for that work here in Florida. I am happy to report that the county did receive 2 grants from the Resilient Florida program this year. Both grants are no match, meaning there is no match fee requirement for the county. One is to update the vulnerability assessment so that it is in compliance with the current Florida statutes. It also contains planning grant funds to initiate design work on flood mitigation projects. And then the second grant is for design work for King Cutter Road to help mitigate the flooding challenges associated that have been observed along that area with the culvert. I believe that some of you are familiar with that project and the challenges associated with that. So those are these 2 grants, and we intend to start work on those projects immediately.
Okay, so your request today is to approve acceptance of those grants.
That is correct, sir.
Okay. All right. Do y'all have any questions?
None.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Let's do them as a separate motion, if that's okay. The first motion would be for the Resilient Florida Program Planning Grants for Vulnerability Assessment Update. So, Mr.
Motion to approve that.
Griffin, is motion to approve,
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion?
None.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. And then our second motion would be to approve and accept the Resilient Florida Program Planning Grants for
Motion to
Keene Cutter
approve.
Road. And Mr. Griffin makes that motion.
Second.
I'm sorry, Mr. Brock?
I said second, but go
Oh,
ahead.
oh, okay. All right, so we have the motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item 6.7, Safer Routes to Schools Grant, Mr. Melvin. There he is.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good morning. Doing
Good
good.
morning.
Yes, sir. So just coming before you today, y'all may recall, but last year the county had applied for a Safer Routes to School grant with DOT for sidewalks along Westbourne and West. And what we'd like to do is come back and redo that application. I'd like to give a lot of credit to Ms. Roundtree and Ms. Carroll. They've been surveying the schools and putting all of those items together. Especially with the renovations that'll be going on at the library and connecting those sidewalks behind Florida, Panhandle Technical, just really needed, and with the VPK school going there now, those will really close some gaps that are in that area as well.
Okay,
And so, yep, we'd like just to request for the, board approval for that grant, and moving forward with it.
Now, Mr. Melvin, what is the resolution with the city of Chipley?
Okay, yes, sir. Let me clarify with that as well. So the city of Chipley, so there's the Safer Routes to School grant application, which is due January 31st. The county, or we would like to request for the county to apply for that particular grant funding with DOT. DOT currently also has open right now what they call their Transportation Alternatives Grant Program, TA. That kind of covers a few different things, but as part of that is sidewalks as well. Obviously, it can be sidewalks kind of anywhere that provide transportation alternatives to people. The city of Chipley is going to apply for the same areas. Again, it's two different funding sources, trying to go after both of them in order to maximize, getting that project done. So rather than have the county and the city submit for the same grant for the same thing under the same one, what we would like to request is if the commission would adopt this resolution supporting the city of Chipley's application for the TA grant itself.
Okay. Would it be appropriate to approve the Safer Routes to Schools grant and the resolution in one motion?
Yes, sir, I believe so. That should
Okay.
be.
Good with that.
Any questions?
I make a motion to approve
Okay.
Safer Routes grant.
So we have a motion to approve applying for Safer Routes to Schools grant and also signing the resolution to work alongside the city of Chipley. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further questions, comments? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
6.8, industrial park discussion. There's a deed in the packet here. Referencing the industrial park properties. In our industrial park, we have a couple parcels that are owned by Washington County, and there's 2 to 3 parcels that are owned by the city of Chipley. And the the thought process is that, to make things cleaner moving forward, that we talked about last month, is to purchase this property and, Washington County be the sole owner. So when it comes time to lease and sell things out there, that, it makes it much cleaner and a much more smooth process. We have, our economic development fund, right now, we have $580,000 in that fund. If it's the pleasure of the board to move forward, we would buy the property out of this fund. And when property begins to sell in the industrial park, we would basically pay ourselves back into this fund. And, any additional funds after we pay ourselves back, would possibly look at, a special, account that would be for our industrial park, for future improvements or anything we may need there. Mr. Administrator, is there anything you would like to add to that discussion?
This was contemplated years ago when this was done. It's actually in the deed, the price, you know, and that's what we're looking at exercising, just because we're getting closer to making some decisions. So we would like to just go ahead and exercise that right with the city of Chipley and basically asking for us to have that ability to work with them. It'll have to go to the city council and be approved at their council.
Is Clay still around here?
No, he had a phone conversation.
Oh, okay. How up to speed are you on this, Mr. Fuquay?
I'm not at all.
Okay.
But I can cover it though.
Well, I know Mr. Milton had a conversation, this week with the city's attorney. Is the Mayor Andrews? Would you have anything to add with this? We know our decision would be forwarded to you guys to approve, to move forward with your side. So is there anything you would like to add for us, or?
No, I believe that our attorneys
Wait,
have been.
do you mind stepping up here, please? Thank you.
Sorry.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Tracy Andrews, Mayor City of Chipley. I guess I will give my address if I need to. If not,
All right.
then I'll move forward. But I believe our attorneys are working very closely behind the scenes to resolve or to bring a proposal to the table. So it's a benefit for all. The county has definitely been there for the city in our most time of need years ago to be able to partake of that property over there. And so now we're just trying to keep the end part of it so that we can move forward. We've got a lot of things that's going on and we don't want to hinder that process. And so I believe that they're working very closely to bring the resolve really soon. So we're 100% of support
Okay.
of making sure that ownership goes back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just for the record, we did verify it was zoned industrial, and that's what we wanted to make sure that it was zoned correctly. So of what the process is trying to be, and that always has been on that piece of property.
Yep. Here's a thought I had as well. If we vote to move forward with this, could we give the county administrator or myself, whichever the board chooses, the authority to finalize any paperwork that we may need to do without calling a special meeting? Or what's your thought on that, Mr. Attorney?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. And would it be, if the administrator's given that authority and it comes down, could he get direction from the, well, I don't know how that would work.
Well, we have the price. I don't know anything that the county has to sign. It would be signed by the city deeding the property to the county, so you need authorization to spend up to $101,426.40 per acre plus the standard closing cost. I think that would cover it.
Okay, so if it's the board pleasure and we move forward, in the motion, we would need to specify that the county administrator has the authority to sign the agreements with up to $1,426.40 per acre plus closing cost.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Without having to call a special board.
Correct.
If it's over that, then we would need to come
Correct.
back. Okay. Like I said, there's 580,000 in economic development fund. We're estimating 145 to 150,000. So are there any questions from the board? Any thoughts?
I think we need to do it.
Yep.
Mr. Brock, any questions?
I don't have none.
Okay. If, hearing no other input, entertain a motion.
I make the motion that we proceed with the negotiations for buying the property back at the industrial park from the city.
With the administrator having the authority to sign the agreements if they do not exceed $1,426.40 per acre.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Sign the agreements and make the payment if we get,
Sign the agreements and make the payment,
I'm good with all that.
plus closing cost. Is that a fair
That-
motion, Mr.
Yep.
Corbin?
That's
Okay.
exactly what I was trying to say.
I
right.
second
All right.
that.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Okay.
Very good. All right, we'll move to agenda item number 7, FEMA coordinator.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't really have a whole lot today. All the quarterly reports were submitted on time. They were due today. We spoke with Charles yesterday about the arbitration determination. Still has not been made. We're sitting in limbo on that. I'm sure just the minute we find out, everybody's gonna find out. So the GP generator, this one right here, the only thing we're waiting on is in the plans, it didn't call for these concrete ballards to protect the gas tank from getting ran over. And so DEP, or the health department, is requiring us to install these. We've gotten the first quote, it's kind of high, so we're gonna get a second quote on it. And I'm speaking with Mr. Fleener about that after this meeting. And then last week, Ms. Connie met with Director Guthrie, which is the head of FDEM, and she asked him about funds on hold, and he pretty much said that Department of Homeland Security is taking precedent of other issues, such as immigration and things like that, when they're kind of putting FEMA on the back burner, and that was his excuse on why funds have been held up, so. But that's it, that's all I got.
Okay.
Unless y'all got any questions.
Have any questions from the board? Mr. Brock, you have any questions?
Yeah. I don't.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Garrett.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Building official. MSBU Advisory Committee update.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My associate's coming up too. We have 4 resolutions to present today. Would it be the pleasure of the board that we do them one at a time for our vote, or would you like them done all at once?
If you would like to present them all, and then the board can make that decision.
Okay. The first resolution, the committee did not vote on because it's a purview of the board to make the decision about who serves on the committee. But we want to tell you that 2 of the terms expire. Mine and Mr. Leland Carroll's terms expire on the 30th of April. Both of us have expressed a wish to be reappointed if it's the pleasure of the board. The second resolution, and this is for a one-time weekend community dumpster that's going to be located on the Civic Association property. They've donated their time and property behind a lock gate, and we will have volunteers to check that only Sunny Hills residents are picked up or allowed to dump there, according to the MSBU rules. And it's a price of $700 for it, and we're gonna test it to see how it works. If it works well, we'll do it again. If it doesn't work, then we won't do it again. The third one is to have Sweet Bay Landscapes provide a one-time bulk trash pickup along roads. some of us are concerned that maybe if outside people find out about it, that they'll bring refrigerators and dump them on our roads, but we hope that doesn't happen. Again, this is a one-time affair, and we'll just see how it works, and the price of that is $1,250. The last resolution is our meeting schedule for the year. First quarter, January 7th and March the 4th, second quarter, June the 3rd, third quarter, September 2nd, and the fourth quarter, November the 4th, and we'll post this on the website so that all the people know. And if we need an extra meeting, we will call that, and we understand that we have to get the approval of the administrator to have a special meeting, and we would do that if we need it.
Okay.
That's it.
And so yourself and Mr. Carroll do,
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
yourself and Mr. Carroll do wish to continue on the board.
Yes, both of us said we would at the last meeting.
Okay. And then included in the packet as well is the Sweet Bay Landscapes proposal for the bulk cleanup. If there's any questions there.
If I could, I had a second bid for that debris cleanup from another company, and it was twice as much as Sweet Bay's landscape. So we did get a second opinion.
Okay.
And none of the trash is on any personal property, it's all on the public easements.
Okay. All right. Having heard these presentations, is it the pleasure of the board to vote on these resolutions as a whole or individually?
I'm good to do it as a whole.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with the whole.
Okay. So regarding Resolution 7, January 26-1, Resolution 7, January 2nd, Resolution 7, January 26-3, and Resolution 7, January 26-4. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, will, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank
Anything
you.
else, guys?
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Public Works Director? Parks update? Okay, anybody have a question for Mr. Swager? Okay,
I would add, though, they are looking at adding, we've requested stocking of some of the lakes that hadn't been done in a while, and that'll be happening in the near future, different lakes throughout the county. So it's a cycle with FWC, so that's a positive, and they'll just be out there, so it'll be good.
okay, very good. We'll move to agenda item 12, engineering projects update. Hunter Park improvements change order, Mr. Melvin.
Good morning again. The board may recall that the county received a FERDAP grant for Hunter Park, which consisted of installing a new splash pad and some other site amenities and whatnot there. During the course of construction, there was some confusion over where the water line was located, and so ended up needing to actually run an extra 375 feet up to where the fire hydrant is in front of the EMS building. And so that is what this change order is requesting. We were requesting to go ahead and use the remaining contingency that is in the grant, but it would require an additional $2,166 that would have to come from the county fund. So originally this was a no-match grant, but there is some additional funding that would be required from the county in order to make that water main connection. I will say we've been very pleased with Blue CS, which is the contractor on that project. They're doing this project as well as a couple other ones, for us, and so we were working with them on the price and making sure that we were trying to keep that in budget as much as possible. But again, it was a little bit more than what the remaining contingency was in the grant.
Okay. And this, based on what I read and what you said, just kind of one of those unforeseen.
Yes, sir. I guess
things.
when the water line was originally marked, it was marked on that I guess I'll call it on the same side of the road there. And in reality, it had actually should have been marked on the opposite side, and there's just the service that comes across to the EMS building a little bit further. I guess I'll call it to the north there. And so, yeah, so it was a little bit of it was a discrepancy basically in where it was marked out in the field, and potholed down to find it, and it was not there, so.
Okay. So the county's cost would be $2,166.
Yes, sir. And they are nearing completion of this project, so don't foresee any other issues as far as getting this one closed out.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns for Mr. Melvin? Mr. Brock, you have any questions?
No, I ain't got none.
Okay, a motion,
So moved. To approve.
motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 12.2, request to authorize Chairman David Pettis to sign and accept RIF grant agreement D0331, Florida Department of Commerce, Holmes Valley Road Project, $3.5 million. Mr. Melvin.
Yes, sir. So just to kind of go back a little bit, I think it's probably been about 5 years now ago that the county originally was looking at Holmes Valley Road, you know, as kind of a connector corridor between essentially 79 and 77. And it started down the process of doing preliminary designs and whatnot through that. Of course, at the time, there was no funding, you know, available that was there, and sort of slated in the normal DOT process of, okay, maybe 5, 10, 15 years before that gets funded. Fast forward to where we are today, obviously, as the county is aware, the Old Shores Resort and Golf Development, actually, they're, as I understand from yesterday, they're out there working currently with their development. They've got the PUD approval. And so in partnership with the jobs that was going to be created with that, the county applied for a RIF grant for the roadway improvements along Holmes Valley Road, and that's what this award is for today, is for the construction of those roadway improvements, basically from Fanning Branch back over towards State Road 79. So there's about a 1 mile milled portion of that when you leave Fanning Branch and start heading west towards 79, and then it just transitions to the unpaved roadway for about 3 miles or so, the remainder of it.
Okay, are there any questions for Mr. Melvin?
None.
All right.
This is for you to sign the grant to accept the funds, right?
To accept the funds.
Okay.
Is there a motion? When we have a motion and a second, it'll be open for discussion.
So moved.
So we have a motion
Second.
to accept, okay? Have a motion and a second. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'd like
If you would, step up here, please.
when he talks about Holmes County area, I'm looking at that. This grant, is it only for the west side or the east side of 79?
It'd be from 79 moving east.
Yes,
Up Holmes
ma'am.
Valley
So from
Road.
79, when you turn on Holmes Valley Road,
Yes.
it'd be the east section until you headed east until you get to Fanning Branch Road.
Okay,
Be from Highway 79 to Fanning Branch Road.
right. And that's what I want to make sure, that it's east of 79.
Yes, ma'am.
The second question I want to ask, is there more to come? Because my concern about that is, my family property is on the east side of 79. When this project, I noticed this is probably the first phase of the project, will there be money later on? Because to me, the state, if they put in this, the state is going to eventually make all the residents go to city water or tap into the water system, and there will no longer be septic tanks. And am I wrong on that? There will no longer be septic tanks and water pumps?
So I can't speak to necessarily any future development or whatnot that's there. The current project is just for the roadway, basically making sure that it's a paved roadway that emergency vehicles, people can travel in and out of. As far as utilities, I'm not aware of any plans for running public utilities in that area, whether it's water or sewer. I'll say I know we have looked at it before. The city of Vernon is kind of the nearest public supplier. They don't have a lot of capacity, and so to the best of my knowledge right now, there are no plans or intentions of having any public utilities in that area. And of course, defer to the commission.
And at this time, we don't have any plans or know of any plans for public utilities in that area as well.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Thank you very much.
you're very welcome.
Thank you.
All right, motion second. Any other questions or concerns? All right, seeing none. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 12.3, request for approval of grant agreement for Hard Labor Creek Road over Hard Labor Creek Bridge, number 614142. Mr. Sims.
Good morning. This is what we tabled last meeting. This is a resolution for the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County, Florida, approving the state-funded agreement, grant agreement to enter into with the Small County Outreach Program with DOT. This is to accept the funds of $170,484 for the BSCOP improvements there on that Hard Labor Bridge.
Okay, do you have any questions?
So moved to approve.
All right,
Second.
a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All's in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 12.4, resolution, Hartford Boulevard, Phase 1 trip. Mr. Sims.
Yes, sir. This is Hartford Boulevard. We just submitted 100% plans to DOT, and that was for the design only. Now we're moving into the phase, talking with Mr. Fleener and Mr. Massey, to go ahead and apply for Phase 1 construction. And so this is just a resolution approving application to FDOT through their TRIP program to apply for Phase 1 construction.
And then we've received the TRIP funding for the design. That's
The
what
design
paid
is
for the
complete, yes, sir.
design
That was
and
all,
complete.
yes, sir. That is, once they approve the 100% drawing, that will be done, and then we'll move into applying for this to get construction dollars for Phase 1. Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions?
None.
All right.
Good.
Motion. Is there a
So
motion?
moved to approve.
Have a motion to approve?
Second.
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
12.5, revised change order number 1 for Douglas Ferry, Mr. Mathis.
Yes, sir. So I'll
Okay.
be standing in for Jake today, if
Okay.
that's all right.
That's fine.
Yeah. So I figured I'd talk with him before he came over and told him I'd update the board. So the board may recall at the previous meeting, there was a change order 1 that the board approved for the Douglas Ferry project, which is a DOT-funded construction project there on Douglas Ferry Road. The issue that has come across is as the construction work has gone on and the paving, there's pretty significant portions of the edges of the roadway where there's really bad base failure. You know, the asphalt, the cracking, and a lot of issues that were there that have come about, again, during the construction project. And so originally there was a limited amount, and that's what change order 1 was. But what I'd like to do is basically ask the board to rescind the original change order 1 and approve this change order 2, which what this is adding 3,069 square yards of roadway base reconstruction to the contract to handle these sections of the roadway where they need to cut out the base, repair it before they repave over it. That way we don't have asphalt cracking through. Now, I will say that this is contingent, the board's approval would be contingent on formal approval from FDOT. Jake had met out there with the representatives from DOT. They've reviewed it. Basically, they said, hey, we go ahead and take this to the board for the contingent approval. DOT is reviewing it on their side as far as the final approval, but feel good about them moving forward with that as well. So this approval here would be contingent on DOT approving it and adding those funds to the county's contract. Again, all of the funding for this project, which the construction is $4.93 million, we increase that to $5.234, would all be fully funded by the department.
Okay. So the request is to rescind the original change order 1 and approve the amended change order 1 contingent upon DOT approval.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Okay? Any
So
questions?
moved to approve.
All right, we have a motion to approve.
Second.
Second, any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could add one thing, on Douglas Ferry, you may have gotten some calls about the traffic counts and back and forth and some of that. We made a call and they were there within minutes, literally, and helped work on that. So I just wanted to extend a thank you for how fast Jake got on that and got it done, so.
I'm always glad to take credit for Jake, so.
Yeah. Y'all were also out within a couple of hours and put more lime rock in those areas where they were doing the culverts, and it helped out a lot. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Would it be the pleasure of the board to take a 15-minute recess?
Please.
Before we continue into the next section? So
Send
good?
it.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll call our meeting back to order. At this time, we're going to continue with our agenda item number 13, County Administrator, website redesign and maintenance.
So staff have been working on this a while. There was an updated,
Pull your mic to you.
updated, can you hear me now?
Little better.
List. When you look at the bids, there's a wide range there. There's basically two local, two that aren't local. We looked at a lot of different aspects of it. The one-time fee, the annual fee, there's other things that are involved. When you look at this bid, the low bid was $19,500. The high bid was $33,800. The best bid and recommendation by staff is the $24,361, and the recommendation is to move forward with that bid based on what it provides in addition to just a total update to what we've got.
Who's that vendor?
That is a GHD Digital. What we've done, we went and looked at the websites, staff has, and then we actually called the vendors of the
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong sheet.
Yeah, something's not adding up.
I'm sorry, guys, there was an updated sheet. I failed to mention that, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just, we wanted to make sure we were apples to apples with what we were looking at. The first sheet did not include some of the something in the one-time fee, so we wanted to make sure that that was the correct price. So it did take it up from basically 19.8 to the 24.3, but that is inclusive. We also went farther and called some of the municipalities and checked with them about what they liked and didn't like, and it had positive feedback from the people that were using the different vendors. But the GHD Digital is the recommendation of staff.
And the one-time fee is basically the design of the website, and then the annual fees, the upkeep and any updates or anything that need to be
The big difference was the GHD also included the ADA compliance and additional things that staff have to do on their own. So when you add that in, that time saver and making sure that, that it's just a big time saver if you've ever had to do that and make it ADA compliant.
I've never had to do it, but I've had it explained to me, and it is very hard. So, any questions, concerns?
Can I address that?
Who are you?
I'm Steve Schmidt with Kerrigan Marketing. I wanted to speak on this.
Okay, are you, okay, you're one of the ones that submitted a bid? Okay, yes, sir. Go ahead, yes, sir.
Thank you.
You would just state your name and address, please?
Yes, my name is Stephen Schmidt. Address 304 Marsh Island Drive, Lynn Haven, Florida. So my name's Stephen Schmidt with Kerrigan Marketing, and we are the Northwest Florida leader in website support to rural counties, and we are submitting the proposal to redesign your website today. I appreciate the opportunity to speak, and I'm here today because we noticed that when the cost tabulations you publish with this meeting agenda are incorrect. The chart you may have in front of you shows $8,900 as our annual fee, and that should actually be $2,568 as shown in our pricing summary page on page 6 in our proposal. If ours was tabulated incorrectly, others may be as also. Additionally, the one-time fee for just about all of these vendors could probably be significantly lower. Your one-page RFP was subject to interpretation. We receive a lot of these, and typically they have much more detail. But the way that it was written and asked vendors to rebuild all 728 pages from your current site, which includes hundreds of unnecessary pages that are typically eliminated by counties in a redesign, such as old news posts and outdated documents dating back 7 years. Some examples, 154 news posts, including expired notices like a 2019 COVID drive-through, 400 documents, including old events like May 2020 burn ban rescinded. Most of these vendors likely included the cost to make every one of these old documents ADA compliant, since every one of them represent a liability. We manage the website for Jackson BOCC, Calhoun, Liberty, Madison, and Hardy BOCC. Our average for these sites are approximately $12,000. All those. So if you took the average of all those, it'd be around $12,000. You can definitely save the taxpayers of your county a lot of money, and if this RFP is reissued with a bit more clarification specifying the number of necessary website pages, I believe every one of these existing bidders, as well as other solid website companies, would focus their efforts on creating a much more effective website for you, not spending the time on expired notices and saving you thousands of dollars. It only takes 45 days to rebuild a site like this, and you have until April 27 to meet the new federal ADA standards. So reissuing an RFP won't cost that much time to get it right.
Okay, thank you. Did you reach out to our staff with any of these concerns before today?
We just saw the post on the agenda yesterday, and so that's why we made a point to be here to be able to speak on it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have any questions?
I do.
Yes.
So where it says on ours annual fee, and it says $8,900, you're saying that should have been $2,568?
That's correct.
And then would that have been in addition to the WCAG 2.1 AA accessibility development?
So that 89 was actually to make the website ADA compliant, level AA compliant.
Okay.
So it just got mixed up there.
So to your quote, we would add another $2,568 for the annual?
So that would be the annual, just straight annual fee.
Okay.
Everything else is a one-time charge.
Okay.
And what I was making a point stating was that there's a lot of unnecessary pages on your website. I mean, there's a major cleanup that you have a chance to do, and if you reduce that page, if you reduce those documents, it greatly reduces the cost. So what we really wanted to push, obviously we saw the mistake on the cost, and we wanted to point that out. But in addition, with this opportunity, we wanted to point out that if you reissued this and you actually specified what is not needed, that would, all these quotes would be lower.
Okay, so a little bit further down, it says annual website maintenance and support optional, and your fee there was $2,100. Should that have been $2,100 or should it
So
have
that's
been?
$175 a month for the ADA, for either ADA maintenance or website maintenance.
Okay,
So I was just combining what the annual cost would be, which would be equivalent $2,100.
okay.
175 times 12.
Not $2,568.
So that's adding on the 468 hosting,
Okay, adding on, so $2,100 plus an additional
plus a
468 for hosting?
for hosting, that's correct.
Okay,
So that's our straight annual fee. Everything else is one-time cost. But what I'm stating was that if we could lower the document amount, lower the page count amount, lower the article amount, that price comes way down.
okay.
And that's what we've done with other BOCCs, is that we've assisted them on cleaning some of this up through proper navigation. But since you're issuing a RFP, you know, what I'm suggesting, or what we're suggesting as a company to you, is to save you money, is to reissue this in order for those page counts, those document counts to get down. And so that's why all those costs are so high.
Okay.
Because they're counting every single little article, HTML page you have, every single document you have. All that's playing a part in that high cost. And so if you specify, we don't want the 2019 burn ban included, or, you know, we only want the past 2 years, you know, moved over, and everything else can be filed away. That's what we're suggesting. That's what we wanted to recommend to you to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No,
No,
I think I'm
Yeah,
good there.
thank you
Sorry.
very much.
I guess my question was kind of maybe more for staff. in light of his comments, would it be prudent of us to maybe table this for now, or?
It's the
talk
pleasure of the board, you know, based on what we had, this is it. And,
Mr. Chairman, a question we would have is who determines what is necessary to have out there in archive documents, or what is to be there, what isn't?
Yeah.
As far as retention and having those things, who would determine?
Well, let me make this comment. It's all gonna be public record. Now, what format you keep it in really doesn't matter as long as you maintain the public record itself. So if it's a copy of your budget from 2020 that's on there, then the clerk has a copy of that budget as a public record. It doesn't necessarily have to be maintained on that website. Now, there are certain things that are required on your website, your present budget, those types of things that are required to be on your website, but anything beyond that would not. It's just maintaining that public record.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
he's got something
May
to
I
say.
just quickly
Yep.
comment? So one of the things that you would want to be concerned about with having those older documents, they just have to be available. But when you post them on your website, they have to be compliant, especially by April 2020, or April 24, 27 for you guys, because you're under 5,000 population. After that time, every document that's on your website has to be compliant, every single one. And we've assisted other BOCCs, other clerks, other county offices, government offices with this help. And we've even given them guidance on, getting ready for these. Because, the 50,000 counties, they have till April 2024, 26 this year. They have to be level AA compliant.
What was that population threshold?
Under 50,000, over 50,000.
Okay, you said 5, so I just wanted to.
Sorry, I'm sorry, 50,000, under 50,000 or over 50,000. So you have time to prepare for that. Now, the quicker you start moving to new techniques, new processes, especially with official documents from a board meeting, these are times you want to take now to start getting it right in preparation of 2027. So it's going to happen one way or another, and what we really want you to do is know about this, and we want to help educate about it. So I just wanted to make that point when you ask about which documents. Typically, what we deal with or recommend is the past 2 years, no more. Everything else should still be accessible by a phone call, to the office. But other than that, it doesn't have to be posted to your website. So it's a practice of trying to get rid of some of those older documents. They still be accessible, but they're not on your website to where they have to be ADA compliant. So I wanted to point that out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
I would recommend we pull it and just give us 30 days and we'll be back next month.
That was gonna be my recommendations, table this
Okay.
and bring it back next month.
All right,
I'll make a motion to table this and bring it back next month.
all right.
Second.
Have a motion to second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Hold on, you still with us, Mr. Brock?
Yeah, I'm still
Oh,
with
okay. The phone was beeping. All right. 13.2, the fire truck chassis. Is Mr. Barron online?
Mr. Barron, can you hear us?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay.
So in your package, you'll see, this is, Justin's package is trying to be a good steward of the money that we have and the vehicles that we have, and he's trying to move chassis and trucks and make it the best and save the most money. But basically, we're looking at $72,558 for the rechassis the current rescue truck with a new 2026 Ford F-550 four-wheel drive for $70,588 plus the fees, and then use the existing rescue chassis, which is an 07, and the Ford 552 door, and there's some backup in the package, with the Chipola, and then the cost to, move the bodies around to get them on the right truck.
And this truck is under state bid contract?
No, sir, this was given to me by Mr. Barbie, which the company that we use there, Chipola Ford, is either better than that state contract or the same.
It's lower than the state is what they said.
So if you want to approve, you just need to make sure you set aside your procurement policy for that purpose.
Okay. So they have a current rescue truck that would become the brush truck, and the brand-new truck would be the rescue truck then. So they're changing some bodies around, getting two trucks for a little bit less money. And
Yeah, that's right. Our brush truck currently is what I think is completely out of service. Has some transmission issues, some brake issues, a bunch of things that make it unsafe to be on the road, especially as an emergency vehicle. So putting a lot of money into it just didn't seem like the fiscally right thing to do. This kind of makes it where we can, kill two birds with one stone, basically.
okay, and you're requesting to use impact fees,
Yes, sir, that's correct.
and then the total cost from your fire budget would be $6,200.
I believe so, yes, sir.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board? Concerns? Thoughts?
None.
Okay. So the motion would need to be to set aside procurement policy and purchase the new 2026 Ford F-550 using impact fee funds and $6,200 from the fire operations fund, correct?
Correct.
And, okay. All right, is there a motion to that effect?
Move to approve.
All right, we have a motion
Second.
and a second. All right, we have, Mr. Brock, you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, motion and second, any further discussions? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was curious.
If you step up here, please.
Yeah, I'm just now hearing about this, but I'm just curious, do y'all, when you have documents like that you're looking at, can we actually have them back at the table so we can see what you're talking about? Or is that, I'm just asking, I don't know how it works. We got the agenda, but it was kind of a private conversation because I'm half deaf and I couldn't hear none of you. However, can you supply the documents in the future?
We can, and they're published online and digitally as well.
Prior to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
But,
sir.
but to provide them by paper, this book is 292 pages.
Right, I got you, okay. So prior to, you can, before the meeting, they are published.
I'll show you how to
Yes.
do that.
Oh, thank you.
You're
The
welcome.
other thing, as far as the swapping of the chassis, so what I heard was that you're gonna purchase a new chassis and put an old body, right, on that new chassis. That will be your rescue unit. And then you're gonna have a current truck that's the body's coming off of, and you're gonna put it on as a brush truck.
Correct.
So, who's the one that's doing the work? I couldn't hear.
Justin, do you know who, Mr. Barron, do you
Yes,
know
sir.
who would do the
That's
work?
J&S Enterprise. J&S is our mechanic. He's the one that does all of our mechanic work.
I didn't hear.
J&S Enterprises.
And so was this a bid thing that you looked for bids when it came to this chassis work or was it just hey, we'll do the work for you?
Well, the truck has to be purchased through the state bid, but this was lower than the state bid list. We set aside our procurement policy to do that, and would be my understanding that the work is under the spending limit of the department head. Is that
It
correct?
is, but Justin wanted it here because it was a larger, when you look at it, it was a whole, so to be clear and transparent, he wanted it all on this agenda so that everybody could see what was being done with the two. He could have just done those, the smaller ones, and done it after the fact, but the intent is to do this and to move it, so it looked better to have it all in here to be
Right,
transparent.
but ultimately, it fell under his spending authority.
Yes, he could have just done those.
Right.
So he didn't have to, well, I'm thinking what he's saying, he didn't have to bid it out to get bids to transfer the bodies from one truck to the next, right?
Correct.
So he bid it out,
He didn't have to bid it out because it was under his spending limit.
Right.
it was under a spending limit. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next up, 13.3, the Vernon Fire Department letter. Mr. Administrator.
So a letter was sent January the 8th of '26, and I would like to apologize first to the commissioners for it being on the wrong letterhead. I think this was done in haste by Mr. Massey, and that shouldn't have happened like that. The notice, there was a lot of conversations between Mr. Massey, the mayor of Vernon, others that have been involved, Justin. A lot of players have changed, and we know that going forward. But basically, he's wanting to suspend the fire service funding from the county to the city of Vernon going forward, is what the letter states.
Okay, what is the county's position on moving forward this? I want to set the tone from the county, and then whenever we're through, any council members with Vernon that are here, and any fire department personnel from Vernon that are here, we will have that opportunity for you guys to come forward at that time, okay?
Mr. Chairman.
Not just yet.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I just wanted to bring this to the board's attention, that the discussion I had with Mr. Massey is the spending of these funds was by resolution of the board. The cease of spending would have to be approved by the board as well. I did speak with the attorney for the city of Vernon. We discussed that. We discussed some of the underlying issues. She did stress that they have a new board, or I say a new board, 2 new board members. This was a little bit of a surprise to them, but my understanding, this was not something new. This is kind of a continuation of prior issues. I think her request was give the city of Vernon's new council, if you will, an opportunity to remedy these issues. That was just to kind of communicate her request. She's under the weather. I spoke with her yesterday. She's has flu, so she's not able to be here. But I wanted to at least mention that to the board. As far as how some of the issues from a bigger scale, but with the fire departments in general, there is an interlocal agreement. That interlocal agreement needs to be updated. We have prepared a draft. We've sent that both to Ms. Jordan and to Mr. Carter, who represent, I think between the two of them, most of the municipalities. I think Mr. Axon represents the other ones in the county. My recommendation is let's make sure we get that updated through this process. I know that's a bigger scale type issue than it is a narrow issue with Vernon, but that may help resolve some of these problems in the future. But the spending of these funds requires the boards, or the ceasing of spending of these funds to a particular municipality will require board action.
This is my outlook on this. I mean, we got a new administrator, you know, you got 2 new city council members. I think we need to let our new administrator get involved with this a little more, and let the city council, the 2 new members, you know, wrap their heads around this before we make any decision on defunding a volunteer fire department. I don't agree. I think we can work through this without defunding them. So my recommendation would be let our new administrator work the city council in Vernon and Mr. Barron and the city chief in Vernon and see if we can come to a resolution on what's going on, get it resolved.
Okay, anybody else?
I got say so, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Mr. Brock.
To add to that, what Mr. Griffin said, I'm behind him. Also, I wanted to, since we got a new administrator, get him involved. I've had several volunteer chiefs that's reached out to me, and they'd like to see a meeting with the administrator, with the volunteer chiefs. We have issues in our county between Mr. Barron, I think, and what they need to do and what they don't need to do. So I think we need to have, to set up a meeting with the administrator. I talked to our administrator yesterday about the situation, and in the future, but like I said, I'm with Mr. Griffin on this issue.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brock. Anybody else?
I'm just gonna echo what they're saying. I feel the same way, but moving forward, I would like the resolution updated. We're working off of a resolution from 2005, is that right, Clay? And one amendment in 2015?
Correct.
None of the players are the same. This county's not the same anymore. There's lots of growth. And I think we need to really look at doing a fire study and updating the funds and allocating how they're supposed to go. And when you look at the one from 2005, you still have Caryville listed on there, Wausau. Things have just changed a lot since then.
And let me just follow up on that statement. The fire study, I did speak with the new administrator. I've spoken with Mr. Massey in the past. Mr. Massey had started down the path of doing a fire study for pay scale fire study. In my opinion, that's probably not the depth of a study that you need. The fire study that you'll need is equipment, stations, personnel. I mean, it's call volume, all of those types of issues, locations. Those are that's the information that I think would be pertinent to make a determination of, hey, here's where additional funding may be needed, or we may need to shift funding from here to here. Those are the things that I think that fire study would be able to tell you. I spoke with Mr. Fleener, I believe, last week on this exact topic, and our concern from a legal standpoint is, hey, if we're going to take this funding and go over here, if somebody challenges that, whether that's through a resolution or whatever process we decide to use, who's going to be the expert that says, well, here's the reason we did it this way, and that's the reason you need that fire study.
And the equation for that was done, for the initial funding was done 21 years ago off of a $500,000 and population. Is that how it was done?
I believe so. I will say this. In my opinion, Washington County is in better shape than some of your surrounding counties when it comes to what you have decided or what this board historically has done to provide this service. That being said, there is still a lot of growth that's coming to Washington County. That funding may not be sufficient. I want to remind the board, remind the citizens, the only way this county generates revenue is whether it's some sort of a service fee or a tax of some sort. And I know that's not popular, but unfortunately, that's the only way you can provide those services is through some revenue source, and you don't sell a product as a county. You provide a service. So that's a tough discussion to have, but as you're going through this, if that fire study says, hey, you're gonna need $1.5 million a year to provide the services that you want to provide, I don't know that you have the funding to do that. And so that's a discussion that we're gonna have to have with the clerk, budget, what is the source of that funding? So it's a big discussion to have, and I'm not sure that's something, I know you're not prepared to have that discussion today.
No.
I just want to remind you that those are the types of things that are going to come into that discussion as we move forward.
In 2015, when they did the amendment and you read through it, it reads like they were setting it up to charge for fire services, almost like EMS does now. Is that how you read that as well?
it does reference service fees or potentially billing for services. If there's a car accident, that's one thing. If it's a house fire, it's gonna be difficult to determine how you bill for those services.
Do you know of any counties that,
Not right
do-
offhand.
okay,
I mean, we can check around surrounding counties. I mean, we can touch base with, the County Attorneys Association and get some feedback from them of, hey, how are you doing it in, other counties?
okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay. Ms. Baxley, would you like to make a comment?
Yes, right, so I would.
Okay.
Hi, everyone, I'm Rebecca Baxley. Most people know me as Becky. I am the mayor pro tem for the city of Vernon. My address is 3396 McBatter Avenue, Vernon, Florida, 32462. I appreciate all the comments. We appreciate the help. The letter had some issues, not just that it was an old letter, but some of the wording in it, in my opinion, wasn't quite as telling. There were not several meetings. There may have been several conversations between the prior mayor and Mr. Massey. There was actually one meeting that the previous mayor, myself, and Mr. Massey, Mr. Justin, and Mr. David was at. At that time, there was just a little bit of discussion. I think there was 2 written complaints. The meeting was left that it would be brought back to city council, and there was discussion of members of the county coming to one of our meetings. There was one meeting that was set up. It unfortunately had to be canceled. We went through a period of time where we lost 2 council members to resignations for their own reasons. We've since lost our mayor. He passed away. So the meeting was never rescheduled, and up until that email was sent to our clerk the other day, nobody knew anything else had happened. We were under the impression that things were working out, and we're willing to do whatever we need to do. I think everybody's pretty much in agreement. Defunding the fire department isn't something that, obviously, that we want. I just wanted to clarify that some of the things that were in that letter didn't seem to coincide with what I witnessed. And the 2 new members of council obviously don't know anything about it. The other members of council, I'm the only one that knew, and I went back to council at our next meeting and let them know what the meeting was about. And so they thought as well that there would be a meeting where everybody could discuss everything. When we didn't hear anything else, and we got this letter the other day, as you can imagine, everybody was pretty upset, and that's why we showed up. So anything that we can do, if we need to set up meetings, a special meeting or whatever, we're willing to do what we can to work with the county, and let's work through this.
Mr. Chairman, just because of sunshine-related issues from the town standpoint, is it the board's pleasure to have your county administrator and/or Mr. Justin attend one of their meetings? Because they can't attend a private meeting with their board members, and so,
That was previously discussed. That was what was going to go on because of that reason.
So I think your county manager may need some direction on that. What is the request from the board standpoint? What would you like to see to facilitate that additional cooperation or addressing the issues that have been raised? Maybe some insight from the board would be helpful to your county administrator.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with the administrator having the meeting with the city council, instead of, breaking sunshine law, having them come here.
I'm fine with that. So,
And I normally don't recommend any kind of joint meetings. Those always seem to kind of go off the rails. So that's the reason I suggest maybe the county manager's attending their meeting to say, hey, here's the issues from the county side. These are the things that we want to see addressed moving forward.
And that's fine. I know from the county side, I really want to be there, and I know Justin wants to be there, and we want to work through this and get it to where we need to. We don't need to not respond to calls if there's a question, and that's what some of the questions have been lately, are being called off calls and not, and for the safety, unless you tell us not to, then we need to keep responding and going to calls until we get it worked out. And that's what, we need to do this sooner than later. health and safety should be the number one priority for all of us, and it is, and it is for me.
Yes, sir, and I understand that, and as Mr. David can tell you, in that meeting that we had, when it was suggested that something like that may have possibly went on, I said, if you've been called, and unless the fire chief is there and say, no, this is a false alarm, roll, mutual aid rolls. And I took that information back to council, and they agreed. And then I actually spoke with the fire chief, and there was some discrepancies as to if that had in fact occurred. And it was my understanding that the fire chief and Mr. Justin had discussed things, and things were being worked out. There again, there was no mention of a rescheduling of a meeting or anything, so all of council, everybody was pretty much caught off guard with this email. So,
And Ms. Baxley, that day I told you, we're not here to work against, we're all.
Oh, I understand.
And you understand that, and we
Yes.
understand how you, as the town of, city of Vernon, want that same thing. So I think we can come to a resolution. Our biggest concern is service to the citizens.
Absolutely.
Of the county and Vernon as well. And, I think we can get there. We're just gonna need your help.
absolutely, and I think you have all the city council's help. Like I said, we've always had a good relationship with the county, and we'd like to keep it that way.
And I wanna say this publicly too. In our meeting, and I'll say it here, we're not here to bully you into taking over your department. That's not our desire, and I think you understood that in our meeting.
Yes,
We're here to work with you guys and have the best outcome. And you expressed that that's exactly what you guys wanted to do,
it is, and I
So-
still believe that the council feels that way as well.
so.
All right.
Y'all have anything else, Ms. Baxley?
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get
Yeah.
a solution to this problem.
Absolutely.
And I've been quiet on this one, and everybody else has pretty well said everything that I reiterate, but I think we need to have mutual aid. If you're gonna be part of it and you're gonna receive county funds, we want it, the county departments, our volunteers wanna help Vernon, and Vernon should wanna help other departments as well. They need to work together. That's been a disconnect with different departments, and that's been so much better, I think. Maybe it's not quite there, but we're getting there where everybody works together a little better. I know there's been like joint trainings and things like that, that it's great for whether you're a county department or just a volunteer department or a municipality to work together with each and every one. So when you're on a call, wherever it may be, that everybody just knows what to do and falls in. And I mean, these guys are all volunteers, and they do it to help people.
I agree,
So
and that's what we're all here for.
that's
We're
all
supposed
we
to be
want.
helping. So, I appreciate y'all's time.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ms. March? Would you like to step forward?
Well, I do want to say one thing. My name is Gwendolyn March, and I'm a city council member in Vernon. And I know you had a meeting with the mayor, but the mayor is not our governing power. And I want to let you guys know, if you need to have a meeting about anything about the city of Vernon, you need to see the city council. Because we are the governing, 5 members are the governing power in Vernon, not the mayor. Our charter says our mayor has no power. And so I don't know why Mr. Massey was having a meeting with the mayor when he should have been with the council. He should never have, because I called that behind our backs. Because Ms. Baxley would not have even been at that meeting if the clerk hadn't told her.
But I will tell you, Mr. Massey set those appointments with the city clerk. I don't know if he requested just the mayor, or I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know. That's what I
But he
said. The
went through
mayor
the
is
city
not
clerk.
with us anymore. I'm not bad mouthing him or
And
anything.
no, and we understand, and that's why the kind of transitions you guys had,
And we've had.
and we've had,
Yeah.
things are a little different now, so.
Yeah. But that's what I just want to say. If you need something from the city of Vernon, you need to come to the city council, not the mayor. Our mayor does not have any governing power. They're just a figurehead, riding in parades and signing, cutting ribbons. That's what they do.
That's
Okay.
right.
That might be the easier job.
Well, it is the easiest job. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Where do I sign up for that at?
Yeah, all right. All right. Do any of the firefighters want to speak right now, or do you want to talk during the subsequent meetings, or? Go ahead.
Shaquan Green, Vernon Fire Chief. I just want to address some of the things in that letter, starting with the cancellation of mutual aid. They got to be dispatched first, because if they're not, then they're freelancing. And if they get in an accident, somebody, who's going to cover them? Is it going to be Vernon for not calling them off, or is it going to be the county?
Yeah, I think that's some of the stuff we gotta iron out, you know, with the dispatching and the communication and all that.
Right.
When our meeting, I think we get that resolved.
Our proper, appropriate trucks on there. I know our engine's been a big deal because it's been at the shop, but our tanker classifies as a Type 1 engine. They can do everything an engine can do. So it's not like we're down in service by not having our engine in service. Our tanker holds more water, acts just like an engine.
One question, have you guys got the engine back yet? Has it been repaired?
It's been worked on right now.
Okay.
I didn't want to get it fixed until we had the funds. That's all I got.
Okay, y'all have any questions for Mr. Green? Thank you, sir.
Troy?
Are you associated with Vernon?
I live in Vernon. They cover
Are
my
you
district.
associated with the fire department or this city?
Mr. Chairman, maybe if there's a motion, then open it up for discussion once you have a motion.
If there's a
on the
motion,
table.
we will open
Yes,
this for
yes, sir.
discussion. Yes. Are there any other questions or concerns? Okay. What is the pleasure of the board?
My pleasure is to table this and let our administrator meet with the city council in Vernon and come up with a resolution to figure out the problem with the Vernon Volunteer Fire Department.
Okay, all right, we
And-
have,
I'm sorry, and to
No.
add to that, and to get a resolution on the, what was we gonna
The
do?
interlocal.
The
The
interlocal
interlocals,
agreement,
yeah.
yeah.
you have that, Ms. Risha?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All right, Mr. Cunningham.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Troy Cunningham, Chief of Country Oaks. I live in Vernon. The one thing I want to bring up that, or a couple of things that I want to bring up that the council may have forgotten is that the fire departments used to have a firefighter association, which was they would get together and these issues would be resolved in those meetings. The trainings would be discussed as what we were going to do, what different departments needed, and what was needed to help those departments. I'd like for you to also remember that that was disbanded by the association, not by the board. That was when the county was taking over other departments and there was issues in that. I believe that that association needs to be brought back so that these departments have their say in those meetings so that it gets out to y'all. The other thing I want to mention is the interlocal agreement also states, and correct, it is out of date. I agree with that 100%. It also states in there that every department in the county has to be part of that association. That association was disbanded, which means that agreement is no longer valid. Caryville was defunded. Nothing's been done with Caryville. Do we want to see the same thing happen to Vernon? No. Bay County Fire Department, remember they're a very young department, roughly 26 years old. They are now having issues with staffing. They have gotten rid of every single volunteer department in that county. They no longer have any volunteers, and they are having problems covering their districts. Do not let that happen to Washington County. Another way to pay for your coverage or to increase your fire services is to make sure that the insurance companies are paying for your fire services. So if you go to a structure fire, insurance companies should be covering. I understand we have a lot of people without insurance. That's an issue that will have to be resolved in another means. The response on for another district to come into your district, the other thing that we need to keep in mind is that when there is a officer on scene or a firefighter on scene and they tell everybody to cancel, downgrade, return to station, we need to make sure that that is actually happening. The person needs to be on scene and gives a size up and advises everything is okay, return to station. This has happened multiple times in my district where the county has continued to come and they are not needed. We need to make sure that those issues are taken care of. Again, the Fire Association is where that's supposed to be brought up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Cunningham. And I've said this multiple times, and I'll take this opportunity. I hope nobody thinks we're trying to do away with volunteers in our county. That is not the, I think, this is one time I would speak for this board to say we're not wanting to get rid of volunteers. So if you're a volunteer, please don't think we're trying to get rid of you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Randy.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Randy Truitt, Washington County EMS. So, I realize this is a discussion about the fire departments, but one thing did come up, and Chairman Pettis, you said something that intrigued me. You said, we want to do the best for the county and provide the safest things we can do for the county. Y'all talked about the fire study, the needs for the fire departments. Why not include all of public safety? Instead of doing a study for one, let's find out where the needs are. All departments need it, but instead of doing one public safety, do the whole thing. Fire, EMS, sheriff. See where that money needs to go. Does the fire department need to grow a little bit here, EMS a little bit here, and the sheriff's department? Instead of concentrating on one basket, I was thinking maybe do the study on all public safety.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
You always come with a money-saving plan. Sounds like you got a package deal.
Yeah.
Save a little money. Okay.
Yeah. No, I just think I think that there's a lot of talk about fire and it's needed. It's what the growth that's happened is great. And it still needs to grow more. But if we're going to do a study, we should do the study for all of public safety and see where the actual needs are before we just throw money at things. We need to see where the money's needed to be put and spent. Is my opinion.
Good point, Mr. Truitt.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, anything else?
Just the sheriff was nodding, so I think that means he's in for part of that money to fund that, so.
All right. Seeing no other discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
On that, did we have a second?
I seconded it.
Okay. Thank you. You're welcome.
Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir, and this doesn't need a vote, it's just informative. December vouchers were $5,267,774.48.
All right, any questions for the clerk?
No.
All right, thank you. All right, the next item of business, Mr. Brock, do you?
Yeah, I'm still.
Okay. County Attorney, 15.1 boat ramp discussion for the Blackman case.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have anything further. I think we had kind of put this aside to, I think you had some discussion with Ms. Blackman, so I don't know if there's further discussion there.
What I would like to do is you to give
Just a brief
a brief
summary.
update and summary of what's happened and transpired, and then we'll have Ms. Blackman come on.
Okay. So just a brief summary, we have the boat ramp case. There were multiple lawsuits, litigation pertaining to that boat ramp, the most recent one being from 2023. That case was resolved in favor of the county. There was I'm gonna call it a hashtag map. It's really a portion of a survey, and I don't have all of the details on that prior survey, but it's a portion of a survey of the boat ramp property, which included the roadway leading into the property, that was relied upon by the county. It was relied upon by the court to make a determination that the county owns that boat ramp property. So that was resolved. The most recent issue was kind of on the tail end of that litigation was a request by the county for sanctions for what we believe was a lawsuit that had already been resolved from a prior lawsuit. The court agreed with the county, granted those sanctions. Those sanctions are roughly $12,000. Because they're sanctions, those sanctions were awarded to the county against both Ms. Blackman and her attorney. The way that works is roughly one half of those fees are owed by Ms. Blackman, one half would be owed by her attorney. My understanding is the chairman has had further discussions with Ms. Blackman. I mentioned to her attorney that if she wanted to come speak to the board, there was no immediate action that the board was taking. That was a court proceeding. The court will enter those orders, accordingly. But my understanding, there's been additional discussions with the chairman. Ms. Blackman did reach out to the chairman, have some discussions, and I'll let him kind of fill you in on what those discussions entailed and what her request may be at this point in time.
I'll give you a quick synopsis. Was she wants to work with the county to come to an agreement to get it cleared up, and that's what she's here today to present. So Ms. Blackman, if you're ready, come forward. And I'll let her lay out the details of kind of her position and what she's looking for.
Good morning.
Good
Thank
morning.
you, Chair. Thank you, Board. Yeah, I'm just hoping that we can all put this all behind us.
If you would,
today.
just state your name and address.
My name is Candace Blackman. I'm a property owner and business owner in Vernon, Florida. But I just came this morning, and it's basically, I'm a concerned citizen regarding the title status of the properties adjacent to the Wayside Park, and specifically the parcel that's been involved in the recent case of Blackman versus Washington County. The purpose of me coming here today is to just raise the awareness of the potential cloud on the titles and to suggest the steps to protect both the county and myself as a private property owner. In 2025, recently, the courts did rule in favor of Washington County concerning the county's use of a portion of the property that is still included in my deed. As it still stands, I still hold the recorded deed, and I've continued to pay taxes on this property until the MARTA was filed in 2023. It was all included in my surveys and my deed. Based on publicly available records and county documents, there does not appear to be any recorded survey-based legal description of the portion claimed by the county. And in order to have a clear title, you need a clear legal description of the property. I understand that what Mr. Milton was talking about, and I'll give you all a copy of that as well. So in order to have that clear title, we all need to have legal descriptions of our properties and the deeds to go along with that to clear up boundary issues. Because no recorded legal description exists, the property remains clouded, and it creates several risks that you can't obtain title insurance. Future transfers of any property or county operations could be legally challenged. The county itself could face liability or disputes if the clouded title is not corrected, and it needs to be done for both parties. I respectfully request that the board considers the following actions to resolve this issue. That I'll commission a professional survey of the parcel that is still included in my deed, used by the county. I will have my attorney prepare and record a corrective deed or quitclaim deed from myself with an easement to the rest of my property at this location, clarifying ownership of the county and my personal property so that each party has a clear deed and title to their properties. I will ensure the survey and deed are properly recorded in the county land records. Coordinate with the title company and the county attorney to ensure an affidavit or owner's title policy confirming the marketable record title. And to have my attorney draw up a boundary line agreement that we can all agree on so that we can all move forward from this mess. It's just my concern, it may seem personal, but it's also about clarity, legality, and protecting both private property rights and county interest. The main reason for me even filing this suit was to clarify land boundaries and clear any discrepancies caused by the actions of the previous board. And I also have a letter that Mr. Milton gave to the previous property appraiser regarding boundaries and a description that is a copy of my father's survey that was included in the old lawsuit from his back in 2012, 2014, that era. And that's been drawn in to show what the county was claiming to be theirs. I have the original survey to be able to give a good legal description to the surveyor, to be able to cut that portion out of my deed for the county. And also a copy of the map that was referenced in this issue for all of you to look at. I'm just gonna give those to y'all. Don't know if I'm on a timer or not.
No.
No, you don't have time.
That's the letter, and also a copy of the map that
Thank
was
you.
referenced on it.
Thank you.
You're aware of it. Would you like one too?
Sure. Thank you.
If I know, you're new to all this too.
Ms. Black, may I just ask a brief question? You mentioned a prior survey. Do you still have that
I
prior
have
survey?
it. I actually have a copy that y'all can keep. And what I wanna show y'all too, actually on here, where that hashtag, what Mr. referenced to that,
Yes, ma'am.
it goes to that fence road. My fence road is inside of there. So what is referenced in that hashtag map goes further now.
Gotcha.
Okay? So I just wanna make sure that we can all, y'all can keep that one. I have plenty.
And just from the board, or for the board's sake, and for the audience that can't see the map, there is a jog on the hashtag map that was in the survey. Your father's attorney out of, I believe, Defuniak, and I'm having a hard time drawing a blank with his
Okay.
name, but he had sent a letter to the county back in, I believe, 2017 or 18 range, dealing with that jog. My understanding is that wood board fence is no longer there.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay. I think we've had this discussion from the board standpoint in regards to a boundary line agreement to kind of fall in line with what the old survey did show. From a legal standpoint, I don't see any reason why we would not move forward with what Ms. Blackman is I think, asking with the board.
Okay. Well, I'm just hoping that we can all get past this. And I just, to make sure that we know where the line is that if you're agreeing with me that based on that survey where that old wood fence was, coincides with the letter and the map that was given to the old property appraiser, that we can say that that is the line, so that I can have that cut out of my deed.
And that is the same map that we relied upon in these lawsuits. So
it all works together.
It should,
Okay.
yes, sir.
So the main thing with the lawsuit is because there was still no clear title, no legal description, y'all. The county did not have any legal description. As a private property owner, I had been paying taxes on all of this property, keeping this property up. I've had trees cut, dirt hauled in, rocks, keeping everything done. So as far as that lawsuit goes that I filed, I just want y'all to understand why, as a private property owner in this county, that it wasn't to have sanctions filed on me and to have all of this drawn out and everything. It was to try to clear up boundary lines so that we can all get clear titles and deeds, and all of this can be put behind us.
Ms. Blackman, do you got an estimate on how much this is gonna cost you to do the survey and
I can get an estimate. I already have the surveyor that I use. He's a local man. He's a good Christian man, and I trust him. He's been doing it a long time, so I can get him to give me an estimate. It's not going to be as expensive as one that y'all choose, I promise you.
well, maybe it'd be my recommendation to the board if she's willing to come out of pocket on the surveying and doing all the attorney work of drawing this up, and Clay and Matt agree with it, maybe we could take the money from the sanctions that we filed, that we charged Ms. Blackman, and, counterbalance some of that spending.
Do we have that option to waive those sanctions?
Yeah, it's in favor of the board, so yeah,
So
you have that option.
if we choose to move that direction, we could waive those sanctions in lieu of lieu of her doing
in
what
lieu
she
of her doing what
requested.
she wants to do and getting them a clear picture on both sides.
I would prefer the board not take any formal action at this point until we receive those documents and receive that, and this is finally put to bed. But yes, you absolutely can do that.
So that's what I'm saying, when Ms. Blackman gets her estimate of how much it's gonna cost to do all the legal work and the surveying to determine, you know, her easement, her driveway, and what's the county's, come back before the board, and it'll be the board's pleasure, if we choose to, you know, dismiss the sanctions on Ms. Blackman for the money she spent on this.
Could we vote to move forward, contingent upon, you know, to waive sanctions contingent upon
The agreement of.
the agreement and this, one question, is there an easement to her gate?
I want
Through
to
there?
include in my deed an easement, please.
There's a reference, so, and I don't know how many of the board members have been to the boat ramp, but there is a public road that runs down parallel to Highway 79 on just on the edge of the right-of-way of Highway 79.
So it'll be on the west side of the park.
It'd be.
Yes.
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 Be on the west side.
Yes, and going north along Highway 79. So that roadway, I think, this asphalt paving that's shown on this survey shows kind of the end result, but that roadway leads out along the north boundaries or northwest
Can I
boundaries of those other
approach,
parcels.
can I approach
Yeah.
you there for just a moment? On here, this is the roadway. It comes, so there's no, this is the access point. So this is the gravel drive and this is the point where my gate enters. Up here, where you're talking about, is wetland.
No, that's up here.
I understand, there's not a road up here to access this. Have you ever
I
been
understand.
down there?
So, Ms. Blackman, what if we,
If
like, go ahead, sorry,
This is
go
what
ahead.
I would like to do, is to be able to access the property the way that we've been accessing it for 20-something years now, and the way that everybody has, is that I have just a 10-foot centerline easement going all the way to my gate to access my properties down here.
I mean, I don't see no problem with that.
That's the
But-
road, I mean,
We looked, and if it comes, it's
if it comes in
capable.
here,
she's
I
got-
have wet,
she-
it's a low
wetlands.
area, because
Yes.
whenever they redone this park, they dug a ditch, and back here is a ditch now, and it drains into my property, when the county done their fixing up at the Wayside Park.
Okay, so there's a drainage ditch that dumps the water
There's a drainage ditch
over
that's
here.
dumping water on my property,
So the most feasible way is to
is
come
to come in here.
right
Yes,
through
sir.
here,
And you requested, what?
an easement.
An easement.
No, right, 10-foot center
And
line.
10-foot center line easement to my gate from, this is the road, this is the road that comes in.
And just for the board's sake, that entire property where she's referring to is part of the boat ramp, which is accessible by the general public today.
And
So
would
I don't
just like
see
to
any
have
reason
that.
why,
That'd be a problem.
that's right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was asking for, is just to have a 10-foot center line easement to access the properties to my gate where it's at. And,
I don't see,
that's
I don't,
only fair.
I don't see no problem. I mean, the only concern that I would have, you know, during summer, busy time is, you know, I know y'all careful. Y'all been there forever. I mean,
Yes.
it's just pedestrians and kids and stuff like
Get
that,
out on
but,
the road, there's crazy people
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, I know.
Just my only question is about the egress of, if I'm backing my boat in there, it can get tight, especially if there's a lot of people, and it may be better to take that on up a little bit or move it.
Well, I can tell you this, is that whenever I come in, when my dad was sick and I took this over from him, we moved that fence on that property line to make it more accessible
I remember
for the
that.
boaters. And this is open right here, so that there is, I mean,
There was nothing.
unless the county's gonna pay the law enforcement to come and patrol this every day, there's no way to deter that. If you
Right.
go to any of these boat ramps
Especially
anywhere
Culpeper.
during the summer, you'll see it, and it's only thanks to TikTok and social media.
Yeah, 100%. So 10-foot easement, center line easement coming through the boat ramp right here.
Yes, to my fence, to the gate, where I have a gate there.
Okay.
And that I would be able to put my fence back on that line, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Is that right?
That is the line we've relied
Because
upon.
in this letter, in that attached map, it was colored into this wood fence that was there that the county tore down when my dad built it.
Right. Well, work on that. I mean, I'm not speaking for the board, but I'm speaking for me. I'd work on this, you know, getting the easement, 10-foot center line, and what it's gonna cost, and everything like that. And so we could,
We don't necessarily have to take an action today,
we don't.
but we're saying as a board, we're agreeable to what she has presented. When she brings this back, we are willing to waive sanctions.
Yes.
I think she wants that assurance from this board
No,
that if she does all this
and we
that
we
we
can-
will.
I just want to put all this behind
Right.
me, Mr.
Yeah,
Mayor.
I'm with you. Y'all-
We do too.
I
it's
done
suffered
this,
long
y'all,
enough.
I just want to speak from my heart for a little bit, but whenever I took this over from my father, it was whenever he got sick, he was ill. I quit nursing to help my father out, and I didn't fully understand all that he had been through with these old lawsuits and all of the upset it caused until I had to face it myself. And I've had to keep an attorney on file ever since I took this over and bought my dad out. I'm just wanting to get all of it behind me. I've had my name's been muddied in this county. I grew up here, my family's been here for generations, and I just want to move past all of this.
And I think all of us agree that this does need to be put past us, and
It's not just for me, it's for the
It's for
county
everybody,
too.
yeah.
It's so that we can get all these deeds, these titles cleared up. It's gonna have to be cut out of my deed, and I'm not even bringing up, I've paid taxes and my dad paid taxes on all of it. Our land was reassessed, and I need to know also that whenever this happens, that it matches the property appraiser's website, that our lines, because it did until all this MARTA happened in 2023. And I'm just ready to put it all to bed so we can all move forward.
okay.
So, Mr. Milton, for her assurance, I would like to have a motion of what would be the recommendation for our motion today to assure her that if she goes, does this process, that we will honor our agreement to waive sanctions?
It needs to be contingent upon providing those documents and entering into an agreement that's acceptable to the county along the same lines as what she has discussed.
Okay.
Yes.
So, along the lines of, Ms. Blackman is gonna, do her surveys, corrective deeds, properly recorded, their affidavits, the boundary line agreements, the legal description to include the 10-foot center line.
And is she gonna provide an updated survey reflecting all of that?
Yes.
An updated survey, and when she, provides that to the county, that, we will waive sanctions.
Yes.
So deeds, that's basically what it's gonna be, is it's gonna be the corrective deeds with the easement, with the surveys. And I'm also gonna need to, have them draw up a boundary line agreement between myself and the county.
Is this waiver of all of the sanctions or her half
That was
of
my
the
question.
sanctions?
Is it one half, or is it just Miss Blackman's? Will Mr. Green still be responsible for the other half?
That's something you need to decide.
Clarify
Okay.
in this.
Well, I mean, he worked for me, I don't know, that's,
Is that how it works? It's one, is it, were the sanctions awarded?
So, in order to be awarded attorney's fees in a lawsuit, there's either gotta be a contract that says the prevailing party gets attorney's fees, or there's gotta be a statute. There is a third exception that falls under Florida statute 57.015, and it says if the court determines that the lawsuit was brought frivolously, or is not supported by facts, or not supported by law, then it allows for a mechanism to be awarded attorney's fees in the form of sanctions against both the party bringing the lawsuit and their attorney. And that's what the court awarded, was under that third exception or third mechanism. It is up to the board's discretion on how you want to handle this. Like I said, those were sanctions that were awarded in favor of the county. If the county wants to waive all of it because it's gonna be an issue between Ms. Blackman and her attorney, that is well within your discretion. If the board says we're gonna waive Ms. Blackman's share of those fees, that is also well within the board's discretion. For purposes of the record, and I need to know what we're doing, because there will be a judgment that's entered in favor of the county. I will need to know, and I will bring that back to the board once all this is wrapped up, is a satisfaction or a partial satisfaction of that judgment. So Matt and I need to know what it is that you're waiving, if you are in fact going to waive those fees and sanctions.
Okay. Ms. Risha, are you clear on the motion that was made?
I don't know that a motion has been made yet.
Well, you're right. There's no motion made, so you're not clear yet.
Will you finish what you were gonna say when you said, well, he worked for me? Will you finish?
I mean,
I just want you
I
to.
had to hire him to try to deal with all of this because I was met with a wall. It was blindsided to me that this paperwork could have been filed, and I was just trying to clarify, well, what do I own? I had the property was sold. It was 2 weeks before my closing date, and this happens out of the blue, and I thought that all of it had been dealt with way back when. It was still in my deed. I was still paying taxes on it. According to the property appraiser's website, it was all of that was still in my name. So, I mean, I had to hire an attorney because whenever I approached the property appraiser, I'm like, why did this happen? What happened? Before I'd even gotten any letters or any made aware of what had happened. So, I mean, anyway,
So is your request for all of it or for one half?
I would request for all of it to be
That was
taken
gonna be
away.
my recommendation, just to clean it up and get it clear.
I mean-
If she comes back with all what she stated she's coming back with, to waive the attorney fees and just get it cleaned up and get this all behind us and move forward.
Mr. Brock, do you have any questions or anything to add?
Nope, I don't.
Okay, all right.
Sounds good to me.
So, at what I'm hearing, the pleasure of the board, the motion would be for Ms. Blackman to provide the surveys, corrective deeds, to be properly recorded, affidavits, boundary line agreements, 10-foot center line easement, in the description, along with updated surveys, and to waive, once that is submitted and provided, that the county would waive all sanctions, including Ms. Blackman and her attorney fees.
Yes, that's my motion.
All right, Mr.
And approved by the attorney, correct?
And approved by the
And-
attorney. I
yeah.
think, yeah, that's what, yeah.
I will second Mr. Griffin's motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you
Thank you.
all very much.
Can I add one more thing, Mr. Chairman? If, for anybody in the crowd that wants to see the survey or this, I'll have it available after the meeting, or you can call me, just so that you understand what we were looking at, during that time.
Okay. Any other business for the pleasure, good of the board?
No.
No? All
Slam
right.
the hammer.
Wait, I've got one more thing.
Hang on. All right, hang on.
Amnesty Day is March 21st from 8 to 12 at the Recycling Center. So that's coming up. It'll be here before you know it. Rural County Days are next week in Tallahassee. Don't forget that.
Yep.
You almost lost your chance for that announcement.
Yeah.
Motion to
Almost
adjourn.
A motion.
We're adjourned.